Welcome to another edition of Pittsburgh Sportsline at Sips Sports Bar, 3024 West Liberty Avenue, 15216. The Penguins are up 2-0, so if you can't hear us, we got TVs, we got a great crowd here, and we're up to, on Pittsburgh Sportsline on Facebook, 2,828 likes, so thank you very much. Watch us on Verizon 32 in the greater Pittsburgh area, Comcast 7 only in Bethel Park. YouTube is open 24/7. Check us out there. You can see over 200 shows of ours. Now, I'm Al Levine, the Talking Machine. We got Smokin' Jim Frazier, Chip the Prophet Hayner, and we talk about what's on our mind, and we're going to do that right now. Chip the Prophet Hayner, what's on your mind?
Oh, thank you very much, Alan, and good evening, everybody. Man, what another crazy week we've had in sports this past week. Pirates have kind of stumbled coming out of the gate, having a little difficulty now, but I certainly do believe they're going to turn it around here. They've got the horses to do it. The Penguins came back to life. Everybody had them written off after the series got tied 2-2.
Except for me.
And, they won a big game on Wednesday. And, then we have one of the NBA owners who's about to get his team taken away from him because he can't keep his big mouth shut. But, we won't dwell too far into that. But the real secret weapon and the reason why the Penguins are winning 2-0 now was somebody got Dan Bylsma a Russian, English to Russian language translation book, and he learned how to say to Evgeny Malkin, shoot the puck. It's working.
Thanks, Chip. I almost couldn't hear that. We're going to have to take a little lesson from Smokin' Jim Frazier here. You're going to get that in a few seconds right now. Smokin' Jim Frazier, what's on your mind?
Hey, thanks, Al Levine, the Talking Machine. And if you want the green,
I can't find.
You got to see Levine. Another big hand for my good friend Chip Hayner.
Thank you, everybody.
Chip Hayner always got my back. Speaking of backs, how's Tiger Woods doing? Listen, I call Tiger Woods Scarface, not because his ex-wife scratched him in the face. I call Tiger Woods Scarface because every girl he wants to show him his little friend. Tiger Woods has been with every pancake waitress between here and North Korea. Tiger Woods has lost all his popularity. Right now, he couldn't even get into an LA Clippers game. Hey, listen, with Tiger Woods' bad back, I don't think he'll never win another major. So I think it's time that we put a new sign on Tiger Woods' golf game. Out of order, out of service, out of commission, out of business. I'm out of my mind for going out of my way to support him. And just like Tiger Woods' golf game, I'm out of here.
Don't leave, Smokin' Jim. Don't leave yet. It's getting quiet now. I think you cleared out the house. And if you haven't seen Smokin' Jim before, check out all the videos this year, Pittsburgh Sportsline at Sips Sports Bar. He's done a great job with that, and he's a little bit remiss. He got excited because all the noise here. He had the best meatball hoagie 2 weeks ago. And if you want the best coffee in Pittsburgh, you got to see Dan the Man. Now, I'm stealing his lines for all you newbies here. Like us on Pittsburgh Sportsline on Facebook, and you can see that. Oh, wait a second. Don't forget to tip your waitress and waiter here. And we got one of the best bartenders in the history of Pittsburgh. Just see John there. He's the tall guy there. And the owner, don't say hi to him. We don't mention his name. But he does have a lot of great things here. You got to check out Sunday. He has like shrimp, Smokin' Jim, that are the size of your fist. And he also has calamari. I'm not sure if you like that.
Never heard of it.
She's about 5'7". I think she's 5'7" and wears nice shoes.
Should take Brazil's place.
Well, that's our little comedy segment. What's on my mind? is just having sports in Pittsburgh. We got all the front runners. Penguins are going to win the Stanley Cup. Did I say that? Yes. 16 wins they need. Tonight they'll get the 4th win. They'll need 12 more. Now, when they went 2-2, that's just a bump in the road. They had a power outage. When your stars don't score and you got all the firepower in the world, what's that tell you? Eventually they're going to score or they're not going to be playing anymore. And if Crosby's hurt, he's one of the toughest guys that I've seen playing hurt like he is. So he's going to get lucky. He shot the puck, and he got guys that'll bounce it off him when he's in close. As for the Pirates, we can't talk too much about it. They've had some injuries, and they're trying to play. They're not quitting any games. And a friend of ours, I want to shout out to him. He's in Baltimore, Jim Auger. He's our MMA guy. Guess who he gets a photo because nobody knew who Kutch was, MVP of the NL baseball. He's standing right next to him, didn't realize how small and frail he is, and he had a great picture with him. So that's what's great in Pittsburgh. You can go to Baltimore and meet the NL baseball MVP. Now we're going to talk some sports by bringing up our guests. We have a couple guests. One of our Hall of Fame guests, Smoking Jim Frazier, gave me a report. She's not injured. Alicia Sparks, she's in our Hall of Fame. He's so disappointed. I thought he'd go out and pick her up because she got a flat tire. So we'll record, get her on another show down the road. But we do have our other guests here. They're all great. And I'm going to bring our first guest up now. And he's going to talk baseball, although he knows other sports too.
My name is John Niederer, and I am born and raised on the north side, a neighborhood called Woods Run, and luckily have been able to have a lifetime in baseball.
It's awesome. We ended up meeting at Gladiators of the Cage.
Yes.
At Stage AE, and I thought he was just an MMA guy because he was doing some writing and everything else, so we're talking about that. Sure enough, we started talking some baseball. And he started talking about being a bat boy.
Right.
Then he started mentioning his dad was a scout.
Yes.
So I
Take
just
over
served
from
it
there?
up for you.
Okay.
Yeah, then you even brought a picture.
I did.
We'll hold that back.
You want to hold that back for a little bit?
I definitely want to hear about your dad.
Sure. Okay. Well, my dad, also named John Niederer, started the Duquesne football program in the mid-'70s. He was an administrator with his friends. He was kind of a skinny guy, so he didn't play the game himself. And this is the day and age before sports marketing was a degree. There was no such thing as that.
Sure.
So upon graduation, he thought, well, I'll just give it a chance. He went over to Old Three Rivers and actually went to the Rooneys first. And he said, I'd be interested in working for the Steelers in any capacity. And they said, well, you know what? They were in the middle of their dynasty. He said, unfortunately, we don't need anybody. They said, but why don't you go across the hall to the Pirates? We'll put in a good word for you. Luckily, the Pirates gave him a job as a ticket seller. And he worked his way up to being the assistant director of scouting in the mid to late 70s. And I did bring my ring. He was a member of the 79 World Champion
We got to get a close-up on that. No, we don't throw that bling to you. You already taught me about that. You taught me about that, Smoking Jim.
That's right.
You know what I know.
That was the last Pirates World Championship team.
Nice. Smoking Jim, this is the 79, the last time the Pirates won a World Series.
And that's the thing, the last time they won it, but the last time they've been in one. And the Pirates have a pretty good record in World Series.
They win.
The last time they lost, I believe, was 27 Yankees. Murderers Row, I think, was the last time the Pirates lost a World Series. Is that right, Chip, if I'm not mistaken?
And the first one was disappointing.
The 1903 World
Series?
Series?
That was very disappointing.
Right.
Reading about that.
A best of 9. They used to have a best.
Just so you know, on camera, your ring is back with you.
Thank you.
That was quite an honor.
All right, awesome. Chip,
yeah, but the Pirates have a unique habit of winning World Series in the 7th game. They did it in 60, in 71, and 79.
That's right. Yeah, 3 in a row.
They took them down to the 7th game.
Right.
You definitely got your money's worth out of those.
Extra dramatic. So,
definitely. So your dad was involved in that type of stuff with the Pirates?
Right. Was with the Pirates until 1986. With the Angels from 87 until the middle of the 2000s, till he got a little ill. It was too hard for him to work physically.
Wow.
Yeah. So I became the bat boy. things started.
We have Batman. Now we got Bat Boy.
There we are. Okay.
We cover it all on BPTV.
Yeah.
How did you get started? Like, how old were you?
Sure. So, things started to change in the 90s. You had to be 16. A lot of times, if there was...
I got 12 and 13, they could at times.
Back in the old days, they could do that. The players' kids, a lot of times, would come in. But if you wanted to be employed by the Pirates, you had to be 16. A lot of times, after an extra inning game, we'd be there till 1, 2, even 3 in the morning. I remember a doubleheader that ended at about 1:30.
That was past your bedtime.
Way past. And we were there till about 4 in the morning cleaning up. Had to be back at it the next day.
Let me interrupt you. How much did you get paid?
We got paid
being a Bat Boy.
We got paid minimum wage, if you can believe it or not. Back then, I think it was $5.25 an hour. But the good thing is that I was actually the visitors' Bat Boy for the first year and a half.
No way.
And when the guys would leave town, they'd take care of you. Throw you a $20 bill. Actually, Sammy Sosa used to tip me $50. $50 bill. Yeah.
You can't talk bad about that steroid user anymore.
Yeah.
Sammy Sosa looks like you right now.
Is that nice? He's a guest. No, that is great. What a story.
So, at first I wanted to be the Pirates Bat Boy. I was a little disappointed, but I think I had a better time. I got to wear every uniform and meet every player in the NL. It was really quite a privilege.
And you got pictures of all that stuff?
I do. We'll have to do it another time. A lot of them are actually in my dad's house in Johnstown.
No problem.
Yeah.
No, that sounds great. Well, then, since we already got you designated as a Bat Boy,
sure,
we might as well show one of those.
Right. One of the pictures I was able to come up with at my house, that's Hall of Famer Fergie Jenkins.
Yes, sir.
And I believe that is the 96 season, because way in the background, you can see a young Jason Kendall warming up there. You might not be able to see it on the camera. Can you see number 18 back there?
Yes,
That's
I
a
do.
Young Kendall. And Fergie was one of my favorite personalities in the whole league. Was
a great pitcher.
Hall of Famer.
Yes.
He was very grandfatherly to the young guys. Always had time with us. I even got to play catch with him a few times.
Did
which
he
was
tell
a
you
great
any
honor.
secrets on how he threw his curveball?
I never got to ask about the curveball, but I did get some great stories about the old-time pitchers like him and Bob Gibson and Warren Spahn and those guys, the guys he pitched with back in the 60s.
Yeah, Bob Gibson used to put the fear of the Lord into people.
He really did, yeah.
He was a mean
Yes,
man.
he was.
That was one of my favorite pitchers growing up.
Sure.
I used to throw high, hard fastballs like him.
Yeah.
I never worried about chin music because I had good control.
He'd knock Chip.
They lowered the mound because of Gibson.
That's right. And I know there's a rumor, I don't know if it's true, but apparently he pitched in a World Series with part of a broken leg or a broken tibia or something.
Yeah,
is what I heard.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah.
He was just a tough guy. He was mean. He loved the win.
Absolutely.
It's unusual now to have a guy that tenacious.
Yes.
So they think you're crazy. No, this is a great picture.
Thank you.
Look at that smile you have. You got a smile for the camera here. Cody, you got to get a picture of that. Then and now, when we have you back on again. And if you wouldn't mind, I like doing some shameless promotions.
Absolutely.
We're helping you a little.
All about shameless
How about you can do a little promotion there? John, do you got that?
Premier edition, no less, right? Of Pittsburgh Sports Line of this year.
Yes.
Excellent.
We did a test last year.
Congratulations on the magazine,
Thank
guys.
You can keep that if you want.
I will. It'll go up on the mantle with the autographed baseballs.
Get Al to sign it after the show.
I don't think I deserve that. They're in another league there.
Okay.
Really, definitely. So, did you travel then?
Unfortunately, we were not allowed to travel with the team because I was the visitors Bat Boy. I just stayed.
But I know the other for the Pirates.
They would let them. The Bat Boys for the Pirates would take one trip per year, and they would usually go for the West Coast trip because they'd get to go. They get to go to L.A. and check out Hollywood and San Francisco. So the boys on the Pirates got to take one trip a year.
Well, how long were you a ball boy or Bat Boy?
Sure. I started in the '95 season. It was delayed because of the strike.
Yes.
Bad
timing.
Yeah, we didn't start until I think the end of April, and I'll never forget the game. We opened up against the Montreal Expos, and they gave away these flags that you would hook onto your car.
Yeah.
They were kind of the brand new thing back then. Well, the Pirates ended up having an inning where they commit 3 errors, give up 5 runs, and
where were the flags going in?
Do you remember that?
Yeah.
You do remember that. It didn't take too long. The first flag came, and just a hail of flags came down. One of the Montreal coaches said, son, you better get out there and start picking those up. So it's my first game. I don't know what to do. I go out and start picking them up. About 2 minutes later, my manager from the clubhouse says, "Get back in here. What are you doing? You're going to get hit in the head. Let the grounds crew take care of that." So, unfortunately, 95 and 96 were tough years for the Pirates. And the Penguins score again.
Yes. Update 3-0. When they see this tomorrow, they already know what happened.
So nobody really knew what to expect in the 95 season. 94 ended in a strike. They weren't too bad,
Right.
but unfortunately 95, I think they lost 100. I think they lost 100
dropped.
games that year.
Yeah, that was when Leland kind of ushered his way out because they weren't going to spend any money, and
Right.
it was just a bad situation.
Yeah, and there was a fire sale for a lot of players. Jay Bell, Jeff King, Merced were all gone by the time that was all over. Really the core after Bonilla and Bonds left. So, but no matter what, it was a great time. It was a dream come true to be on the field with those guys.
You had to love that. And did you live at Northside still, and you could walk
I did.
to the stadium?
I lived about 5 minutes away from the stadium. I didn't
That's
walk.
even-
I didn't walk, but I guess I could have. Didn't really want to play Frogger on Ohio River Boulevard.
You know what? That's a good point.
Yeah.
I wasn't thinking
Yeah,
about that.
yeah.
That's dangerous.
Ohio River was the quickest route from my place down there.
Even if you're
so-
holding a baseball bat, it's a little difficult.
Yeah.
So what else do you do now?
Well, I actually am a writer for a website called In Ya Face MMA. It's INYAFaceMMA.com.
And that's how I met you.
Right, that's how we met at Gladiators of the Cage.
You and Jamie Chesney were talking about that.
Female fighter Jamie Chesney, who was Smoking Jim, had a nice reaction there. We were childhood friends and reunited after several years. I just happened to tell her that I was looking into getting a personal trainer because I wanted to get in better shape.
Right.
She tells me that she was a championship kickboxer in Vegas.
Right.
She says, why don't I train you? I'll give you a better deal and I'll give you better results. So, I kind of came into the world of MMA through the back door.
Yeah.
I'd always watched the fights, but I really enjoy writing about the fighters, and it's a great time.
I read a couple of your articles.
Well, I appreciate that.
Yeah,
Thank you.
Definitely.
So
we may have to talk about maybe an article there.
Yeah, and Handsome Jim Ajay, who you mentioned earlier, has been kind of showing me the ropes. So I appreciate that. Thank you, Jim.
Yeah, there's a lot of tie-in with the community. I call it 2 degrees of separation.
There it is.
It holds true again, Smoking Jim.
If I might be able to tell you about one memorable event from the Pirates.
Just one. You can have 2.
I don't know how much time we have left.
For you got extra time.
Okay, thank
You're in
you.
a bonus situation from being Bat Boy.
All right.
I just like being between, just saying this, Bat Boy and Batman.
Batman. There we go.
I mean, it's crazy, but I like it. Tell me your most memorable, and we'll go from there.
It was the end of the 1996 season. Again, the Pirates were at least 20 games out of the playoff. We had a pitcher named Paul Wagner, a righty who threw really hard, mid-90s fastball, which had a real biting slider. Well, believe it or not, he goes into the 8th with a no-hitter against the Rockies. Comes out in the 9th inning, has a no-hitter. I think there's either 1 or 2 outs left. Somebody hits a pop fly to first base. Jeff King goes over to get the ball, and there's a Bartman moment before Steve Bartman happened. Somebody interferes with Jeff King. He can't catch the fly ball. Next batter, Andres Galarraga, rips a single up the middle, and we called him Poor Paul Wagner because he lost like 16 games that year.
Yeah, he was.
Lost his no-hitter. Wow. And I thought that could have really been a highlight of the season for otherwise a team that...
John, question for you. The last no-hitter pitched by a Pirate pitcher.
Yes.
Was a 10-inning game. Wasn't that in the summer of 97?
97.
I was at that game,
Yes.
and I was wondering, were you working that game?
Unfortunately, I was not. I was off to college by then, but certainly will always remember that game. That was Cordero.
Francisco Cordero and Ricardo
It was a
Rincon.
relief.
And Mark
Relief
Smith
pitcher,
hit that
right.
huge shot
in the bottom of the 10th.
Sure.
Yes,
yeah, great
was,
mery. We'll never
I've
forget. Wish I
seen
could
the
have been there.
last two no-hitters
that's
here
great.
in Pittsburgh.
That's good. The Homer Bailey one?
Yes, I was there too.
Okay.
A little more history here.
Yeah.
Another story. I know you got a bunch of them.
Another
What's
story.
on the top of your mind?
Okay. Well,
what would you think of?
I
Somebody
think,
goes, what else did you enjoy?
People might be interested in hearing about Tommy Lasorda a little bit.
Yeah.
Perhaps.
Oh, yeah.
Tommy Lasorda, of course, a great ambassador for the game of baseball, but very friendly when the cameras are on. But once he gets in the dugout, one of the fieriest competitors you could ever imagine. I remember Jason Kendall getting a bloop single to beat the Dodgers late one game, and Tommy just unleashing every four-letter word.
Any combinations? None you can repeat.
We're a family show, right?
This is still a family show.
There we are.
So
no exception for you,
as
you know.
Tommy unloads on Kendall. He's like, you this and that. You're nothing but a singles hitter. And then
he was.
The game's over. Tommy's interviewed in the visiting clubhouse, and he says, boy, this Jason Kendall's a great young man. He's a great young ball player and a chance to win the Rookie of the Year. So I always thought that was interesting.
Sure.
You know, like also.
He had class in front of the camera.
That's right. Deion Sanders was kind of the same way. Played for the Giants
That's right.
at that point.
You got to see him play.
Deion was approachable. We talked football. I told him that my Steelers were going to win the Super Bowl that year. He told me his Cowboys were. Unfortunately, he was right. Wow. Very approachable in the locker room. Once he crossed over those lines, he was Neon Deion, the prime time, just that whole aura.
That persona,
yes,
he puts it out
lived
there.
it to it. See, like a rock star, really.
Yeah, well, he did. He had a great career.
Sure did.
Definitely.
Yeah.
So Tommy Lasorda learned what Donald Sterling never learned. Keep your mouth shut when the tape's
that's
running.
right.
You're bringing current events.
That's fine.
Those pieces will fall where they may.
Tommy had the good sense to be very, I guess.
He was a class act.
And he is. But I guess I wanted to impart what really a fierce competitor was, even at that age. I think that was his last. He retired the next year after that season.
Would you have anybody in the Pirates that you would think would have been the toughest player that you saw play baseball or anything?
Toughest at the best?
Combination. Would that be a combination? Like one of the toughest guys, competitor-wise?
Pirates, Merced, when he stepped over the lines, was all business. You saw him smile very little.
Yeah.
Other than the Pirates, Caminiti, who unfortunately, Ken Caminiti met a unfortunate end. Never saw the guy smile. Just from the second he came to the ballpark, looked like he wanted to kill somebody, but he actually won the NL MVP in '96, and they went on a couple years later to lose to the Yankees, but they had a heck of a team with Tony Gwynn, Caminiti, had some great pitching with guys like, I can't think of the right-hander, Andy Ashby was tough for them for a while.
Yeah.
So,
some good stuff.
Bagwell and Biggio, another two guys that were just fierce competitors.
You think Bagwell should be in the Hall of Fame?
Well,
what's your thought?
I don't have a vote for the Hall of Fame, not a sports writer, but I don't want to say anything negative. I think we'll let those guys hash it out. I don't think there's any doubt those guys certainly ballooned in their physiques as the years went on, but those guys were really good to me, so I can't have a bad thing to say about Biggio or Bagwell.
An honest man. He was a young man. Got to see all that behind the scenes.
Yeah.
Did they have a lot of trays of vitamins that they used to take?
No vitamins. In fact, the visiting clubhouse at Three Rivers was very small. Honestly, it might have been almost as small as this room to fit 25 guys in there.
You're kidding.
There was a main room. They had a small training room.
I heard them always say it, but I couldn't visualize how small it was.
And a shower/bathroom. Barry Bonds, when he would go in the trainer's room, they'd lock the door and say, "Don't go in there. Don't talk to him." Barry would go in and take a nap before the game, and you are not allowed to approach him or talk to him.
Wow, that's your kind of player, buddy. Right there.
Yeah.
Well, he seemed to have gotten bigger.
There's no doubt about that.
There's no doubt.
Yeah.
That's that clear. He mixed it up.
The clear and the cream,
yeah,
right?
He didn't know.
Yeah.
You switch that stuff up.
Right, sure.
It happens.
Yeah.
So when are you going to write a book about this?
I've been asked about that, and I think I better, because I just have so many great memories. The game was really changing in the mid-'90s, with the
you're talking about 2 years, a window, almost 2 years of you being there. 2 summers.
There was the steroid scandal didn't hit until later, but luckily I got to meet, some of the greatest players in the
What about Mark McGwire, since you're dropping Sosa?
Sure.
What about him?
What do I think of him?
Did he give you a scoop of creatine?
He was on the A's in '96 and didn't come to the Cardinals until either the end of '96 or '97. So unfortunately, I never got to meet Mark. I knew Piazza was in the league at that time.
Some say I used to resemble Piazza.
I can see that. You have that nice handlebar there.
Fu Manchu.
Yeah, you're a little friendlier than he was, too.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, that happens with all the money, $91 million.
Sure, and
that might change you a little bit. Even you.
Well, if I ever make that kind of money, I hope not. But
maybe next year.
Maybe next year. And to tie Lasorda back in, Tommy, you guys have probably heard this. Mike Piazza was signed as a favor to Tommy Lasorda in the 80th round, and I always thought it was very respectful how Mike worked so hard to become a Hall of Famer. And he's not yet, but he should be, because I don't think there was ever any talk that he did steroids.
There's just some rumors now. They put rumors out about everybody now, and it's all over and done with. He was a great catcher.
The greatest hitting catcher of all time, without a doubt.
That's true.
Yeah.
John, any closing words?
Well, just so glad to come on with you guys. Had a great conversation with the legendary Chip Hainer before we talk Buccos, and we're not worried. You know, they had a rough April, but they can turn it around and have a good May. You just never know with baseball. So, Smoking Jim doesn't like it.
It's 162 game season.
Smoking Jim doesn't like the Buccos?
No.
Well, before the season, I put a bet in with Las Vegas, 84. I took the under.
Okay. Well, I can understand that.
Right, I'm going to teach him about some baseball.
Was it for $91 million? No, okay, a little less. Okay.
He's not telling the odds, too, on that.
Okay.
What were the odds on that? 3 or 4 to 1?
No, we don't condone gambling.
Not at all.
Show, right?
You've been in the audience, sir.
Yeah.
This is for recreational use. He's a professional gambler. He'll defend himself on whatever subject he wants to bring up. But John, I appreciate it.
Thank you so much. It's been a pleasure, guys.
You're welcome back whenever you want.
What you talking about? What you talking about?
All right, we're going to do our halftime show, the Pittsburgh Sports Line halftime show at Sips Sports Bar. For any sports that we might have missed, we're going to bring that up right now. What are you guys thinking about for halftime here?
Well, you know, we got to give a shout out to the Pittsburgh Power. They've turned things around this year, brought a much more marketable product onto the field. They've lost the 2 games in a row, but they've lost to 2 teams in the league. The only 2 undefeated teams. Hey,
Give me that $5 you got.
I didn't claim that on my name.
I thought you missed something.
No, well,
they are playing better football, and they didn't quite get doubled in the last game, so that's better.
You know what? They bring an exciting product, a new enthusiasm into a sport that was dying here in Pittsburgh before this year.
Well, like we've talked before, we had some great players that come on, and they're playing great, but it's a team game. What do you think about the Power, Smoking Jim? Any opinion?
Well, you know, the wide receiver, the star wide receiver that was on the show, ended up getting hurt, and that hurt him against Cleveland. But
the week before, he set a record and tied a record in Pittsburgh.
Yeah, 5 touchdown catches.
Very, very exciting brand of football, and I encourage everybody to go out. It's very affordable. Encourage everybody to go out and watch.
I'm with you on there. I've been to a couple games in the past. We got to see a game this year. When are you ready? Let's schedule something. Get your calendar
It'll
out.
be my first.
Whoa.
So, hey, Smoking Jim, what do you think about the upcoming NFL draft a week from Saturday, huh?
Well, I tell you what, we'll talk a lot about that tomorrow, but I tell you what, I'm so glad to have Aaron Ward back, Devin Shea, and the Rookie of the Year, John. Thanks for coming out.
That was 2013 Rookie of the Year. Just have to put that disclaimer on there. He's working harder than ever. Look, he even has the camera on me right now.
Yeah.
He's pointing at me, too. He's a good man.
Is that a picture
John?
of you on this shirt? Al Levine, the talking machine?
Nah, he's better looking.
Okay.
Will Ferrell's better
That's Will
working.
Ferrell. Okay, I wasn't sure.
Stay classy.
You're getting popular, brother.
No, I don't think so. He's much better looking. No doubt about it. Smoking Jim, what else do you got going on? We just posted up your article on Wilkinsburg.
Well, you know, I wrote an article on Wilkinsburg's basketball coach against my will. I think that Wilkinsburg, they ought to blow it up and start all over again. But I'm glad that one coach is in there for a couple of years to get things turned around before he quits and takes a better job.
Are you going to be welcome back in Wilkinsburg now?
No.
Okay.
Right. Is there something opening up a gateway?
You know, we're the city of bridges, but you keep burning these bridges. Hey, that's it for the halftime show. We're going to bring up some more guests in a couple minutes here. Introduce yourself. You haven't been on the show in a while. We know you as Mr. Mona V.
Yeah, well, AKA Mr. Mint now.
Whoa, you better tell us that new product.
Yeah, Mona V decided to branch out a little bit and grab the younger generation. And they have a whole line of all-natural energy drink and customized, made-to-order protein shakes.
Wow.
You should have brought some on. We're all in training here.
You all look great.
Good comeback.
You look great. If I didn't say that, they wouldn't invite me back again.
I know. Here, let me give you that money back. Thanks. What else is going on?
Well, I've been, like Chip. Chip and I are pretty much the same. We've been suffering these last couple weeks. But there are 162 games in the year, thank goodness for baseball. And I want Polanco to come up like everybody else.
I'm with you on that.
If there's no one to protect him, he's going to die.
Yeah.
They're not going to give him anything to hit. I don't care how good he is.
Right.
So until our players start hitting, just put a knife in him.
I know. Jay Bell had to leave us.
Yeah, that darn
That's
Jay
what
Bell.
hurt us.
Yeah.
I'm being sarcastic.
Yeah, me too.
I'm a Pirate fan too, and it does hurt. I was hoping that they could maintain that. We'll just see what happens. It is a long season, like I keep putting up there, 162.
Yeah, it's a long season. It's going to be all right. We'll be all right. Right, Chip?
I've got ultimate confidence in the players on the team, the management staff, the general manager. Everything's going to work itself out.
Can't win without A.J. Burnett. They backstabbed him. That was the leader of the team. He turned this program around. It's the curse of A.J. Burnett.
Oh, man. You know what? I can't even believe you said that with a smile. He's 1-1 right now. He did have 8 strikeouts in his last game with 8 innings, so he can still throw and get guys out.
How did the Pirates do for 20 years before A.J. Burnett?
He played the year before with them. Hold it, he played the year before with them, and they didn't win. So, again, you're starting to throw out things like Cowher was 8-8 his last year, and Mike Tomlin took over. I'm just saying.
Cowher.
Not yet. In your book.
In my book.
Jim, you are an NFL scout, but you're not a Major League Baseball scout.
He calls them like he sees them, though.
Well, I've seen some of Bill Cowher's women, and he's Hall of Fame in my book.
Oh, was this before when you were around, or is this after?
I won't tell.
Okay, but we're not going to mention the fact that the Phillies are cellar dwellers.
Oh, no. It doesn't matter. All we got to do is play better. When you get W's in Pittsburgh, it heals a lot of things. A lot of those blemishes disappear. So what if your average is like the Mendoza line? Is a team. I mean, it doesn't matter. If you win a few games, that's what counts. But I mean, as you approach that, you got to be serious. It'll get better. When the weather warms up, a lot of the hitters.
As long as they win May 22nd, that's all I care about.
I've already got that one
May
penciled
22nd
in.
here, Mr. Francis.
I'm going down with Chip.
Pittsburgh Sports Line night.
All right.
We'll be sitting down in section 125.
All right. I got to remember that.
Yeah, there you go. See that? Let's switch to Penguins since you got a nice Penguins t-shirt on.
Yeah, the Penguins have been causing me some grief. My business partners happen to live in Columbus, Ohio.
Wow.
And I've been getting some, I've lost a couple bets. Jim, you can attest to that.
No, we don't condone all this gambling.
Not quite
What's
as
all
bad
this gambling on a family show here?
Not quite as bad as Jim's bets, but I lost a pizza, okay?
Okay.
I lost a pizza.
At least it wasn't heavy money. It might have been a heavy pizza.
I don't think you lost it. I think Jim found it.
But yeah, they must win tonight because I'll have emails and I'll have all kind of things going on Facebook tonight to all my friends and family.
They're going to win.
Don't
you worry. I said it before the game. They got to close it out now. We don't want to put anything to chance.
I think the Flower will shut him out tonight, and that will give him confidence the rest of the way through the series, which is what he needs.
How about a little mint?
A little mint? They do need a little mint. And I'm a little upset. You were slipping.
What happened?
You didn't ask me the question.
Which one?
How do they contact you about this mint?
You know why? Because you're not done yet.
Okay.
If you were done, I'd have to tell you.
Hey, Alan, you got to get a picture of him with the magazine.
Yeah. You know.
You're slipping, Alan.
No, I'm not slipping. Why am I slipping when I'm asking a guest? Can you tell me about the Penguins a little bit? I didn't know you ended that segment. Since this is one of our advertisers, we definitely have to get a nice shot of Mr. Mona V.
I am in
Holding
there.
the
My
magazine.
Mona V products are in there. And on my website, which is on here.
How do they get a hold of you?
That's a good question. I'm glad you asked.
Anybody else want to prompt me? John, can you tell me what this is?
mymonav.com/MariosJuice.
Wow.
Or you can call me at 417-7301.
Oh, you're on speed dial with this phone.
That's right, with the dumb phone.
Yeah, I can call him. Definitely. Well, thank you. I appreciate you coming in
Thanks for having me again.
on this rainy day in Pittsburgh. Introduce yourself, Trapper Tom.
Hi, everybody. Trapper Tom. I'm the ring announcer for the Pittsburgh's professional wrestling organization, the KSWA, the Keystone State Wrestling Alliance, and I'm glad to be back with my friends here at Pittsburgh Sports Line.
Well,
thank you very much.
welcome aboard again.
Thank you.
I was perusing Facebook and other things, and you're all over it.
There's
a huge,
announcement.
major Smoking Jim. Wait till you hear this announcement.
That's right, brother.
This is big. This is the biggest one
news.
in I don't know how many years for KSWA Wrestling. Wait till you hear it.
For many years, 10 years, the Keystone State Wrestling Alliance, its home base was at 120 51st Street in the Lawrenceville neighborhood of the city of Pittsburgh. We can now refer to it as the Lawrenceville Moose. We were there for 10 years. We have now moved to a bigger and more sophisticated venue for all of our fans.
This is huge.
The Teamsters Temple, also along Butler Street in the Lawrenceville section of the city of Pittsburgh, 4701 Butler Street, right along Butler Street. The Lawrenceville community was very helpful. Lawrenceville United and they were a major community group, as well as some of the other community groups, wanting to make sure that the KSWA maintained its presence as Pittsburgh's only professional wrestling organization. So we have scheduled a variety of events, including May 31st.
Is that going to be your first event there?
That's right. We've had fundraisers there in the past,
right?
Namely for the PACC, Pennsylvania Connected Communities. That's a organization that helps some mentally challenged folks, and we've had a number of fundraisers there and really love the facility. But now we are able to make that our home. We have 3 events lined up so far in 2014, but we're leading up to a full schedule, 9 events in 2015, which is also the 15th anniversary of the KSWA.
Wow. Wait, who owns this KSWA now?
Bobby O is once again the owner of the
Just
KSWA. Kaida beat Sean Blanchard in a match. People are that excited about the KSWA.
It's all KSWA. But I got to give you a little assist. The Penguins just scored. They're winning 4-0.
So when you're watching this Wednesday afternoon, you will know that the Penguins scored.
Yes. Or even tomorrow afternoon, it might be out.
That's right. But
continue. You're on a roll, buddy. Sorry for that big cheer. I know you're used to it in the ring.
Sometimes I am.
I know you. I've been there.
But the 15th anniversary is next year, so we're geared up for that. The Teamsters Temple, it's a big announcement for a lot of our fans. No smoking, smoke-free facility.
Hey,
no smoking.
I give a round of applause for that.
We almost got him in there, and you said no, it's only 4 blocks away.
Only 4 blocks away.
It's easier to find, but no smoking gym.
That's right.
And
smoking gym's the only smoking that's allowed there.
Can you get him a special ticket?
Yeah, I think I can get him a special ticket.
Get him
smoking.
in there. He
Jim
wants
Frazier.
to go.
That was good.
He's just busy in the media.
And also for a lot of our fans that have been unable to go because navigating stairs, there is an elevator in the Teamsters Temple. So anybody that's handicapped, we have handicap accessible facilities now.
That's why I said this is huge.
It's huge news.
Huge.
The no smoking ban has been unanimously.
You're going to have even more kids there.
Yeah, the kids are very important. There are some bars, some facilities in Lawrenceville asking for the KSWA, but we can't because it would only be 21 and older. We got to have kids at the KSWA.
Oh, yeah,
we're family friendly,
the heart and soul.
and that's the heart and soul of being able to bring a family to be able to come out for the
And
event.
you get a great bunch of kids out there too.
We've had 50 kids screaming at the top of their lungs.
And I
it's just
understand the
music to our
VIPs
ears.
have been dissolved.
The VIPs have been dissolved also as a result of that match with Kaida versus Sean Blanchard. He made the challenge.
You might want to explain that to the folks a little.
Sean Blanchard was so confident that he was going to beat then manager Bobby O and one-time owner Bobby O that he was so convinced that he was going to win. He said that the VIPs would be disbanded if he lost. Well, what happened was Sean Blanchard didn't realize Bobby O didn't have a wrestler's license. He only had a manager's license. So for one night he had a new client, Kaida, former KSWA champion in his own right, and they had a heck of a match, and Kaida was able to defeat Sean Blanchard, and the ownership of the Keystone State Wrestling Alliance once again in the hands of Bobby O, who immediately cinched this deal for us to have a bigger and better facility for the KSWA Crazies.
That is fantastic.
So we're excited
How
about
long
that.
did it take to negotiate all this? Were you involved in any of that?
Bobby O, he's lightning. He's like
Is he?
lightning, yeah. So he was able to get all that, and the KSWA Championship Committee also involved. When they can work with Bobby O, they always were at loggerheads with Sean Blanchard. But as long as they can work with Bobby O, things can work out.
So they're actually
I see
smoother.
Chief back there smiling. He knows what it's all about. Stephanie as well.
That's our man, Chief.
So
what
on-
about the Jester? Is he still going
The
to be
Jester's
involved?
still going to be there, yes, sir.
That's like kryptonite to some people.
So he says the Golden Triangle Championship going to be
May
up for the-
31st,
Okay.
a tournament to choose have the new Golden Triangle champion will be held on May 31st at our first event at the Teamsters Temple.
And what time will that be?
7:30 bell time. Tickets are $10 for adults, $8 for kids.
Still $10 at the Teamster Temple.
We always enjoy making it family friendly,
Right.
and to enable folks to be able to come and see
And
quality,
bring their family.
and not break the bank in doing it. So
It's-
that's one
yeah,
of the
I'll tell you
things
what,
that-
that's $10. It's well spent. It's an
absolutely.
enjoyable evening. And
It
if you don't
certainly
laugh, by the time you walk out of there, you never will.
We had a good time when we were there. I was there with
absolutely.
Zach and Stephanie and Chip.
Yeah.
You'll like it. Well, you already like wrestling. You know what? You might even get into the ring.
No smoking.
No smoking gin, though.
Smoking.
Oh.
Smoking. You
Smoking.
can go in.
There's an exception. Well, we know you.
That's right. That's right. We'll get you in.
Did they
We'll
make
get
a
you in.
special place for your laptop?
Oh, there'll be a table, of course. Yeah,
Bobby
absolutely.
O's going to set you up.
Yeah, Bobby O always sets us up. Also, last week, the KSWA went to Allegheny County Courthouse, and we were able to make a proclamation, give a proclamation to Jumpin' Johnny DeFazio, Bill
I saw
Cardell,
the
and
photos.
Chuck Martoni,
Yes.
and for their 2014 induction into our Hall of Fame.
Right.
So that was very
Was the mayor in
auspicious.
attendance for that?
That's a county function.
I know. I just
but the
wondered
mayor
if-
wasn't. Mayor didn't go across the street for that.
Okay, I just was checking. I didn't see any photos of him.
No, he wasn't there. He wasn't there. But that was a great deal for us. And also we were able to ink last week. Bobby O is working like a madman. The KSWA will be in the Memorial Day Parade in Lawrenceville as well.
Wow.
We'll have some of the megastars walking in the Memorial Day
What are
Parade.
you going to dress up as?
Probably wear my suit.
That looks like a good suit
Probably.
for a ring announcer. What color might you pick on Memorial Day?
It's probably I may wear this one. I don't know. I may have to pick something
Any
out new.
patriotic?
Depends on
Memorial
what the
Day.
humidity's like. Huh?
I have a tie. Maybe I'll be able to.
Okay, just wondering. I know you're a classy guy there.
I don't want to go, over the top, with a.
I said
Why
no
take
touch.
away from the
That's right.
wrestlers?
That's right. It's about the wrestlers
Yeah,
being
I
able
understand.
to be able to, be able to meet the fans out there on the.
Yeah, but any
streets
ring
of
announcer
Lawrenceville.
called Trapper Tom, you would think he has a little following there too, right?
You never know.
You got a
never know.
nickname. I'm thinking you got a couple fans. I'm one right here, buddy.
That's great.
why
I
I'm
always
asking.
appreciate it. That's all. I
I'm
always
just trying to
appreciate
help
that.
you there in the neighborhood, you know?
Oh, one more quick note before I go, if you don't mind.
No. Here, you got extra time because I just got an announcement. There are no stink bugs in Homestead. That Zach actually has. Somebody's in the hospital there, a friend of his, and he's there right now. He won't get out to be out here with us.
Well, God bless Zach's friend and his family, and hopefully a speedy recovery. But yeah, today when I realized that I was going to make my triumphant return to Pittsburgh Sportsline, that's right, triumphant return to Pittsburgh Sportsline. You don't have to drink.
On Facebook, Pittsburgh Sportsline he missed the Facebook part. 28-28. I don't know if we got. Are we above 28-28? We got Devin. Devin's working so hard on.
He is working feverishly. That's right.
Look at it.
Well, I wanted to look my best as this graying hawk.
Oh, 28-29 on Pittsburgh Sportsline on Facebook. Somebody here must have liked us, so thank you. Go ahead.
So when I knew that I was going to be on the show,
yes.
I wanted to look my best. I'm a graying hawk, and I don't have the mullet that I used to have in the 80s.
You know what? Those are some nice mullets that you had back then.
It was world class, my man. So I decided that I was going to go and get my hair cut by a professional young lady at the Sheer Talent Beauty Salon in South Park Shops. By chance, I graduated high school with this girl, Catherine Dunkel, at Sheer Talent in South Park Shops. You got to remember, it's not like Monroeville. It's not like the Keystone Oaks or Bethel Park School District, Baldwin. This was in Portage Area High School, about 100 miles away from here.
Say that again, because you're a fast talker.
Portage Area High School.
Portage Area High School.
Wow. So I went, and the young lady that I graduated high school with was responsible for giving whatever this is the best look that it ever
You know what? It
has
looks
in a long
even
time.
better in person. Facebook does not do you justice. I didn't repost that on Pittsburgh Sportsline on Facebook. I wanted to see you in person.
That's good. That's good. But yeah, if you get a chance, if you're in the area, check her out.
Guess what? They should have magazines there.
Maybe they should.
I did drop some off. It's Sheer Talent. That's one of over 400 now.
We'll talk next time you go down. I'll let you know when my friend is there, so you can say hello.
You can't ask for better things than this.
You can't.
2 degrees of separation.
That's right.
No degrees with you. You went to school with her. Come on. You can't go with my straight line.
And the funny thing about it is I don't think I've seen this girl since the 80s. And you walk in and it's like a best friend that you haven't left. That's the kind of relationship that we all had as a class.
You're special.
Well, thank you, Al. I really appreciate that. But yeah, so that was the interesting thing today.
What a day you had.
That's right. That's
triumphant,
it's been a long
triumphant return. Did you mention everything from KSWA yet? Because I don't want you to leave this show without getting it all out there.
FanFest will be at the Teamsters Temple, and just check out KSWA.net.
When's the next one after that?
June 28th.
See, I knew we could get a promo for another one.
So check that out, and we're also still working on some other events throughout the year, the KSWA on the road throughout 2014.
No, that
Shane
is
Starr is
fantastic.
still the heavyweight champion.
Shane Starr is still the heavyweight champion, and if he is able to be the heavyweight champion around the time of the Memorial Day parade, maybe perhaps Shane Starr himself will be in the parade. We're hoping.
Really? That'd be great.
That's right.
He's not going to cut his hair or anything, is he?
I hope not. I hope not.
He can't be in the parade if he cuts that hair.
I know somebody could cut his hair
Samson.
if he needs it cut.
No, let him stay like Samson.
That's
no
right.
Delilah for him. Well, Tom, I want to thank you for coming
Thank you,
in.
Alan. Thank you.
Pleasure.
And God bless as always.
All right, we're going to have no Z time tonight, so I don't know what Dave Cable will do with that. We're going to do a boxing segment at the end here to wind this down, because Smoking Jim and I are going to be, you know where it is now, so I'm not going to tease you, the Royal Place for the Hall of Fame dinner and boxing. Go ahead, tell us, buddy.
You know what, Al Levine, the Talking Machine, it is such an honor to go and see another guy, a friend of the show, get inducted into the Hall of Fame, the Golden Glove Boxing Hall of Fame. And I tell you what, I am looking forward to the great meal that we're going to get for free.
Well, like friends of mine at the Post-Gazette and Press always said, the best meal is a free meal. Chief, you can co-sign that anytime. And if you see RB or anything down there, tell them I said it on air. And I'll say it again, if some of those guys are hard of hearing and are a little older now, the best meal is a free meal.
So Alan always says, free is me.
We cover that.
But I'm anxious to hear about what happened in the state Golden Gloves finals. The boxers from Pittsburgh went to Philadelphia and got robbed again up there.
Yeah, I heard.
I know we had some great boxers. I believe we only had one champion come out of that tournament.
Brian Kelly.
Brian Kelly, who is tough.
He
tough
is.
Heavyweight
Big
in the
guy.
bang. And if you're a white heavyweight, and if you turn pro, you can make some money. So Brian Kelly qualifies.
How soon? Is this a coming attraction here?
The White Hope. Keep hope alive.
No, my sister's not here. She watches some of these. And she was just up here. Who were you mentioning in the Hall of Fame and getting in? Are you allowed to say, or is that a secret?
Andy Sebastian. I tell you what, he is the announcer, although you're the announcer in waiting, and Andy's probably going to step away maybe after this year or next year.
He could go on forever. He's one of the best.
Alan Levine, the talking machine, is ready to step in there and fill his big shoes. And in about 5 or 6 years, we'll be inducting Alan Levine, the talking machine, in the Golden Glove
Don't bet
Hall
on
of
that.
Fame.
Don't bet on that.
Let's not forget to mention that Andy's also the voice of the Plum Mustangs.
He doesn't like that being mentioned.
Yeah, that place. It's just a little east of God's country.
Yeah, it is. Right next door, but that's another subject. We're talking positive stuff there.
Even Lightning Rod Sulka don't even promote that he's from Elizabeth. He's from Banola or somewhere. Who ever heard of that?
Well, speaking of boxing, that was a great night of boxing again, as we talked about.
Rod, like I said before, Lightning Rod Sulka loves beating up brothers.
Hey, you mentioned something on a video I posted. Did you like that Muhammad Ali video that I pulled out there for you? I knew you'd enjoy it.
There'd never be he didn't even have to throw a punch. I've never seen a video where a guy didn't have to throw a punch and everybody loved the video. Unbelievable reflexes.
Yeah, you know, it's almost like when he beat Liston the second time. With a phantom punch.
He paralyzed a lot of guys with that. He had more power than you thought, just like Rod Sulka. And then you gave Rod a compliment that he has almost the hand speed that Ali has.
Yeah, I'm so proud of Rod Sulka. Rod Sulka fights like a black fighter, and he's being very, very successful in doing it. So proud of him. He's getting ready to start making some real good money.
Hey, did you see the photo with him and Oscar De La Hoya, the Golden Boy, when he was out in California this past week?
No, I missed that.
Oh, man, I'm going to have to send you that one.
I didn't have Telemunda.
Okay. I don't know if that's what it was, Smoking Jim. You are too much there. Well, we got boxing on, what is that, Saturday night?
Saturday night, May 3rd, and I tell you what, I'm so glad that we have it. That way we don't have to be forced into watching Money Mayweather again, fight. So
you know what? I hope you don't take me all over the country to go to a place where we couldn't even hear the fight.
Yeah.
The only thing good was the scenery at the fight.
Yeah, it was great scenery, and food was good.
Food was good, and your guest was even better.
They served
they
served the food before the fights. I was just saying. If they served it after,
we got the
Giblin going home hungry because he leave early.
We got the 2-minute warning here. We're winding down. We got 2 minutes out there. Chip, on another subject, anything for the last 30 seconds?
Last 30 seconds. I believe the Pirates are going to turn it around. Looks like the Penguins are going to bring home a winner tonight. Looks like tonight the Rangers and the Flyers are playing. See who we get in the next round. We get the winner of that series.
Go Rangers.
Yeah. Really, go
That's what we
Rangers.
need. Smoking Jim, final words?
Final words. In less than a week and a half, the Pittsburgh Steelers will be bringing in some new talent. So hats off to the Pittsburgh Steelers, bringing in some great young rookies this
And if
year.
this is posted up tomorrow afternoon, when you watch this, tune in tomorrow night at 7 o'clock to 8 o'clock on Verizon 32 everywhere, Comcast 7 only in Bethel Park, and hear Smoking Jim live. Give you some insights on the NFL draft. Now they're all waiting because Pittsburgh Sportsline on Facebook hit 28-29. So thanks again for that. Thanks to Dave Cable for all the great editing, graphics, and helping to drown out some of this noise. It's fantastic. John the Tiger Kiger is going for the lead in 2014. I don't know what award he's going for. Devin Shea right here has a huge lead. Devin Shea has like quadruple what the guy needs to win the award right now, so he has a lot of work to do.
And I got my main squeeze back.
Are you talking about the
Aaron
best
Ward.
in business, Erin Ward? She brought her PA system, but I don't think we could drown out the crowd here tonight.
No, we
Thanks
can't.
for watching us. Thanks for being out here. We appreciate it. Watch our next show. Come on out next Monday. We got more great guests. That Kama Worthy's going to be out here. The Death Star from MMA. You want to check this guy out. Have a safe trip home. See you next week.